By far, one of the absolute coolest announcements coming out of the Nintendo Direct was House of the Dead, the remake. I wanted to show you guys the trailer because this really got me amped up. I very fondly remember playing this game in the arcades. It was an absolute quarter stealer, dumping so much dough into this game to beat it, which I did. It had the light guns. It was one of the first light gun games that I could ever really remember that I got into. There was a lot of other light gun games. Remember they had that Aerosmith game? I think it was Aerosmith, where you used the machine gun that was that had like you could shoot CDs at people or something. That was an interesting game. I know there's a Terminator game that was fun. Time Crisis definitely over the years grew on me quite a bit. I remember having that for my PlayStation 3, the home version. I really enjoyed that. But House of the Dead, I think, always held a special place because it was just so corny and so campy and so cheesy, but fun. And I wouldn't say there was a whole lot of jump scares or anything like that, but it definitely got me amped up, and I was very, very excited for that. So let's go ahead and jump over to the House of the Dead remake Limidead edition, which was just announced. I figured the game would probably be like $30 or so. The Limidead edition comes with a little bit more. And I don't know, as far as I can tell, this is the edition. I don't know if there's a non-Limidead edition, but the fact that it's just called Limidead is awesome. I just think that's such clever marketing. It doesn't come with a lot, and I feel like it's a miss. And I'm going to tell you guys why. So you're going to get, obviously, the game. I think that goes without saying. You're going to get the game. That's good, because there are a lot of collector editions these days that just don't have the game anymore, do they? You're also going to get, and this is, this is where I start to struggle a smidge. You're going to get the exclusive box, like the box work of the game that it's going to slide into like a sleeve. That is now part of the collector edition. It would be like saying, we're going to give you a statue and we're going to give you the cardboard and the plastic and the tape and the tie wraps as part of the collector edition. I'm not really understanding that. But okay. You're also going to get some stickers, which are great for 9-year-old boys. I have no idea why. Out of all the stickers here, obviously the logo, it's kind of hard to read, unfortunately. This is the best photo I could find. But there's the House of the Dead logo. Okay, that would make sense for a sticker. But you just have some of the generic enemies, like you just have a random dude with a chainsaw. You have a gun. You have 2 bats, and then the bullets, the count of bullets on the bottom of the screen for the HUD as part of your stickers. And I just don't understand that. And then you have the 2 character stands, which can't be any bigger than the Nintendo Switch box, which is a smaller jewel case than the traditional CD cases you see in modern video gaming, which includes 2 little character stands, probably made out of very thin cardboard, which you could stand up and look at as a display while you're playing your game. And that is the limited edition. Now, I don't really feel like this game would fetch a high price with more. Like, I shouldn't say that. I don't feel like this game would fetch a high price if there were a lot more things. Like, could somebody honestly justify a House of the Dead $100 purchase? What would that collector edition look like? I mean, obviously, you wouldn't have a soundtrack, or would you? I don't know. What would be the thing that's missing? And I'll tell you, and this is what's missing. There is no light gun attachment. In other words, when you're playing this game, you're going to be playing with your left and right Joy-Cons, which will use the gyro as your aiming devices. And if you remember back when so many Wii U peripherals were coming out, and actually going back further from the Wii U, just the Wii, you think back of all those peripherals that were coming out. They had the like add-on racket if you were playing tennis. They had the add-on baseball bat. They had on a sword and a shield when you were playing Zelda. But one of the cooler ones was the light gun attachment. that actually had a trigger mechanism to it. There was Link's crossbow challenge. They came out with a handgun later on as well. That's what this is missing. That is where your collector edition is. Why they couldn't figure out a way to get a plastic housing for you to hold the Joy-Con as a regular weapon and shoot it at the screen. Maybe Nintendo's nervous because, I don't know, maybe gun attachments don't necessarily come off as a family-friendly image. Although I'd argue slaying murderous zombies and all these sort of things probably doesn't come off as a family household image either. I can't really think of any reason why they missed a boat on this. There must be a reason, and maybe the way you select weapons or some of the controls going to require the analog stick and they felt they couldn't map it. I don't know, but as soon as I heard Lightgun game, I immediately just thought of, oh my god, so many cool attachments we could have. Going back to just the Wii side, I talked earlier about me having the Lightgun kit for my PlayStation 3 for Time Crisis 3. I bought an aftermarket kit that had a light gun and a foot pedal so that I was able to press down the foot pedal to get out of cover to shoot at enemies. I logged hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into that experience. I loved it. Now, House of the Dead doesn't have a cover-based mechanic. You're just shooting as fast as you possibly can. It was absolutely meant to be a quarter-eating game, and it was, because you knew you were going to take damage. And that's how they got you. That's how they sank their teeth into you. They put enemies in there that were always going to hit you no matter what you did, no matter how good you were. Obviously, that's going to translate differently into a home console experience where that's not going to be much of an issue. And I have to think the runtime on this game is probably on the shorter side, especially since you're not going to just play for a couple minutes at the arcade with your buddies and leave, but you're going to have seemingly infinite continues from the comfort of your own home. I feel like this game can be beat in record amount of time. All of those things absolutely weigh into the idea that a collector edition may not make the most sense for this game because you're going to be investing a significant amount of money into something that, well, frankly, isn't going to take that long to beat. However, when I see that they've included character stands, it instantly draws like the idea of setting up a shooting range in your house with the little dart guns and shooting things. Obviously a shooting-based game, and I think they really missed the boat on this. But if you are interested and you would like to get your own, it is now for pre-order on the pretty much everywhere. I know Amazon listed it first. That's the listing I'm showing here. It's going to cost you $40, and there is no release date as far as I know. Yeah, it's still showing December 31st, 2022. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to see exactly when it does get a release date. But if you are interested and you want to get in on some of the awesome zombie slaying action that is House for the Dead and get to experience some of these really, really goofy, over-the-top scenarios in which you're shooting your brains out, well, you have found the right place, my friend. I am absolutely 100% buying this the day it comes out. I can't wait to review it and talk to you guys about it. And I'm hopeful that maybe some third-party vendor can figure out how to make a cool gun attachment. Because unfortunately, the Limidead edition, as cool as the name is, just doesn't quite cut it. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on House of the Dead. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.